Hi, I'm Bybreen Samuels and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my textured take on the world of astrology. Well, in a few days' time there is a new moon in Gemini and it's forming a quincunx or an inconjunct to Pluto in Capricorn. So let's deal with the new moon, which means that the Sun and the Moon are forming a conjunction. They're at 22 degrees in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So we're dealing with your thoughts, your mind, how you process your ideas. Now with the Sun in Gemini, there is a sense that you want to be recognised for your intellectual prowess. With the Moon here, she's seeking emotional security through what you know. So it's a conjunction, so there's a balance between the two. Now, when you're dealing with the higher mind, you're seeking to engage with other people. It's in Gemini, so it's a very sociable sign for you to be out there, connecting, speaking, sharing ideas, consulting, gathering views, and then distilling them in a way that you're able to strengthen or sharpen your intellectual ideas, your intellectual property, and that's very much driven by the Sun. But as I said, there's a balance because it's the conjunction. Now, both of these planets are forming an inconjunct, a quincunx, in other words, to Pluto in Capricorn. Now, where you've got Pluto in Capricorn and it's forming this aspect, it means that the Sun and the Moon and Pluto cannot read each other. They're sort of like ships in the night. They're trying to connect, but there's a disconnection. So the energies aren't fused in a harmonious way for you to work with, which means that you've got to grow in consciousness about what these energies mean. So Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Pluto here is about authority, power, and the regeneration of power. It's in Capricorn, so there's a deep sense for you to take yourself seriously, gain a sense of authority. What is it that you can do to build your authority so that you're able to operate and demonstrate your gravitas? And that's required because Saturn rules Capricorn and Saturn is also back home, so Saturn has returned to Capricorn. It's not forming any relationship with Pluto beyond the fact that they are both in Capricorn, and both of the planets deal with power and authority and the wider public. So what you're seeking to do is to find ways where you can cultivate and develop your intellectual prowess, share that with others, gain emotional security on the one hand, and then to be taken seriously because you're developing gravitas, which means that you need to be shifting away on some level from this Geminian energy, because Gemini has or is associated with this flightiness. But it's useful to take yourself seriously, but also to be light. So that's what you're seeking to balance. You also have the Mercury forming a sextile with Uranus. So here there's a sense that you're regenerating your thoughts, you're bringing new solutions to old ideas. Now if you think about what the new moon is representing, then this sextile between Mercury and Uranus could really help you. So there may be a thorny problem that you're working through at the moment, whereby you've been stuck. It feels as if you're swimming in quicksand. Now with Uranus there, Uranus gives this freshness to alternative ways of thinking. So that is going to aid you in your development. Now as you're moving through this change, it's also supported by Saturn forming a trine again with Uranus, because Uranus has gone into Taurus and Saturn is in Capricorn. So this again is another signature where change can be made in a structured way. So it's very supportive. So you've got this, not even a collision, you've got this embracing of the old ways and the new ways. And there isn't a rush for change. There's a recognition that change needs to take place. And it could be a sign where you're learning something new and you really want to integrate this new knowledge. So it could be something that's mathematical or technological or astrological. But it's a time when you're seeking to develop your skills, you're learning, so therefore you're building this intellectual prowess that the Sun in Gemini is calling on you to do. We also have a sextile again with Jupiter and Saturn. So it's a very favourable time outside of this quincunx with Pluto. What's happening with this new moon in Gemini is being supported by energies that are anchoring you. Now with Jupiter and Saturn, Saturn wants you to grow in maturity, Saturn wants you to be more serious and responsible. Jupiter here, you want to expand, you want to take risks, and you can take risks in a prudent way because you've got the sextile going on between the planets. Then we have the North Node. The North Node is in Leo. It's forming an opposition to Mars in Aquarius. Now Mars is about action. It's in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, so it's about taking unconventional action to build something, to do something. So in terms of this new idea that you're trying to formulate, this intellectual prowess that you're trying to develop, well, you're not going to do it if you keep following the conventional route. Now with Mars in Aquarius, it's wanting you to break free from convention. Now Aquarius is about the collective, it's ruled by Uranus. There may be too much of an association with fighting or taking action to benefit the collective per se, and you're not paying attention to what the North Node is calling on you to do in Leo. Now the North Node is there until early November, so you've got 5 more months to really carve out your place in the world. It's in Leo, so it's in a fire sign. It wants you to take centre stage, but you can't be flighty with it. And if you're paying attention to the energetic patterns, we've got Pluto in Capricorn, stand up and be counted, be that authority. You've got you've got the Sun and the Moon in Gemini, so it's calling on your intellectual capacity to think up new ideas. You've got the Mercury and you have Uranus, so it's a new way of thinking about things. But it also could be about speaking your emotional truth, which could be quite shocking to people. So take yourself seriously, do it lightly, but have your eye on the prize, because once the North Node leaves Leo, it moves into Cancer. And so Cancer is about emotions, and it's about your emotional relationship to this tribe that you're building, that the North Node is requiring you to step up. You know, step up boldly and shine. North Node's in Leo, so it's at the height of summer. It leaves in November, so do not miss the opportunity to start carving out your space, become recognized, build that tribe, lead it, very much so. The Sun is associated with Leo, and that is about leadership. The Sun shone for me recently because the North Node is going through Leo. I have my Sun, my Moon and Venus in Leo in a prominent part in my chart, so it's been fantastic for me. As some of you may know, that over the last 3 months I've developed and launched a new media platform called The Smart Years, Savvy Women Rising. And the North Node has travelled through, or is travelling through, Leo. So it's been a fantastic way for me to profile myself. And also I had the wonderful opportunity of being interviewed on London Real, which is a very iconic internet programme whereby people who are doing interesting things are profiled, and I was one of the people who was profiled, along with, you know, Marianne Williamson has been on the show, Christiane Amanpour has been there, Jacko Willink has been there, Nigel Benn has been there, Priyanka Chopra has been there. They've all sat in this iconic seat, and I've been blessed. So the North Node shone on me. I've been out there in the world, and I'm being recognised in my tiny micro niche. And so as much as I guide you and share astrology with you, I also practice it in my own life, and I want you to have your moment in the sun. So that's it, beautiful people. That brings me to the quote of the day, which is by William Alger. And what he said is this, is that the moon is a large pin, it's a silver pin that helps to anchor the tent of the heaven. So we have this wonderful expansive sky above us. We have this wonderful horizon right in front of us as far as our eyes can see. Which brings me to the question of the day. What are you going to do while the North Node is in Leo to build your power base? Now, you define what power means. You define what power is. But what are you going to do so that you have your moment in the sun with the North Node in Leo? So as always, beautiful people, I love to connect with you. Put your questions, your answers, your queries in the comment box below. Please feel free to share and subscribe to my channel. Share this with anybody in your network who you think could benefit from this. Also, let's connect on other social media platforms. I'm active on Twitter at Bybreen Samuels. I'm active on Instagram at Bybreen Samuels because my name is so unusual and unique. That's the reason why I use it across all the social platforms, so you can come and find me, we can jam, we can continue to hang out, also here, but across other platforms. And if you would like an astrological consultation with moi, drop me an email at bybreensamuels@googlemail.com, put in the subject line, astrological consultation, and we will take it from there. And so until then, stay well, think about your moment in the sun. What are you going to do to bring it about? So until then, the next episode, bye.